Welcome back to Tanya in Less Than 5, Chapter 3. In Chapter 2, we established the essence of the divine soul, the godly DNA that exists within every Jew. No matter the Jew's station in life, his position, what he does or doesn't do, the divine essence is always there. In Chapter 3, the Alter Rebbe gets into the personality of the godly soul. And, like personalities are, they're different for each person. There are two primary components to every personality. One is the mind, the intellect, and the second is the heart, the emotions. The intellect is divided into two capacities. One is the capacity to conceive ideas. This is known in Hebrew as chokhmah. That is the capacity a person has to come up with ideas. When the light bulb turns off in your head and some idea comes into you, that's an experience of chokhmah. The other capacity is analysis, to understand, to take information, break it down, compare it, apply it. That's all within the category of understanding, known in Hebrew as bina. The emotions too are, generally speaking, divided into two experiences. One is attraction, and the second is retreat. Every experience a person has emotionally is either one of two things, or a combination or some variation of attraction. I want to be close to that thing. I love it. I want to consume it. I want to be one with it. Or retreat. I'm afraid of it. I'm anxious about it. I'm embarrassed by it. These are all retreat, where the person goes into himself. Now, for the godly soul, whose essence is divine, its intellect and its emotion is going to be directed to God. The ideas it conceives of, its chokhmah, is ideas of God. Its understanding, its analysis, is to analyze God's truth. Its attractions is to be attracted and become one with God, that desire. And its fear, its retreat, is going to be the fear of God, not to let God down, or even a sense of just shame being in the presence of God. Now, there's one other component to this whole experience, and it's the key to this experience, and it's going to become a central point as we build our journey going through Tanya. And that is, how do we solve the issue of the intellect and emotions being really two opposite experiences? The intellect is concerned with what's the truth, and the emotions is concerned with how do I feel. So how do you go from this is the truth to now I feel for it? Simple example. A person may understand intellectually that God's watching me. I know God's watching me, and yet I'm still anxious about how tomorrow is going to play out. If God's watching me and He's here with me holding my hand, what am I anxious about? Well, because the intellect understands it doesn't necessarily mean automatically that I feel it. So how do we make this work? How does the godly soul go from what it understands to its feelings? And for this, we use the faculty that the Alter Rebbe describes in Hebrew as da'at. Da'at in English translates as knowledge, but not knowledge in the sense of I've gathered information. Knowledge in the intimate sense. For example, I know I'm alive. The reason I know I'm alive is not because I understand it or because anybody explained it to me. In fact, I don't understand it. I know I'm alive because I feel it, because it's me. It's that kind of information. The first time the Torah uses the word da'at, knowledge, is when Adam knew Eve in the intimate sense, not because he understood her any better, but because they became one. Now he truly knows her. And this is the key to him taking an idea and making it translate into an emotion. Once I understand a truth, say that God's watching me, then I have to take time, consistently, every day, or every second day, once a week, whatever it is, but consistently take time to concentrate and focus on that truth, not because I need to understand more about it. I already understood it. I know God's watching me. I understand it all. But I have to think about it deeply. Think about it again and again and again, and think about it from that angle, on that angle, and concentrate deeply on it, to the point that I start to feel it as part of my emotional experience. The takeaway from this is something a little bit counterintuitive. We often think of emotions as spontaneous and reactionary. And comes the Alter Rebbe and says, no. If there is a truth, an idea that you know to be true, but you're not feeling it, you need to spend the time to contrive that emotion. Take the time to concentrate deeply on that truth, to the point that you will have created an emotion. Not reactionary, You've created it. Looking forward to seeing you at the end of chapter 4.